Hey, YouTubers, TazzMann here, bringing you another episode of TazzCraft. And here I am joined with my two faithful guard parrots. And I did get, I always hit the wrong button. I did get a suggestion, so we're going to do that. Hopefully this anvil down here will work long enough. We have 56 levels, so that's pretty good. But, there we go. There's an 8. Oh, I need to put this in the last chest. Let's see. So that one. Nope. Don't need you. So I did expand this guy down a little bit more. I kind of feel like I already showed you this. So I did an AFK fishing session. Maybe I showed you. I don't remember. We need to find where I can put these other tags. Oh, actually, they're probably fitting here. So there's still a big flaw with this system. As you can see, like there was 8 down in the bottom and there's 9 here. And the flaw is the hoppers, because once a hopper fills up with non-stackable stuff or a complete stack of a stackable thing, then nothing else can get in. So like if we look at here, these 16 tags would have been able to go all the way to the bottom. However, we have 6 bones in here. There are no other bones in here. And there are no bones in here. So therefore it will not push through. And of course the chest's full. So these non-stackable items will also not push through. So if there was a way, and what we might set up when we get our real house, this is not our real base. But when we do get to our real base, we'll probably set up AFK fish farm, but we'll also have a sorting system where any non-stackable items will go into an array of chests, and then all the stackable items will be in their own little chests. Oh, whoops, I need to stay down here. So anyway, as I was saying, we had one person, Hintron, has said you should name one of the birds Philip. So Phillip. So we're gonna name one of our birds Philip. And come on. There we go. Now we have Philip and no name. He's sad that he doesn't have a name. So oh, poop. He got up. Sit down. Philip, don't go down there. Okay, good, Philip. Okay, I'll have to remember that. When I name Mr. No Name, come on, go that way. Oh, these guys are so hard to push around. Oh, don't get on the bed. No, you're not on the bed. Bed is for Taz only. Okay, so when we do name this guy, we'll definitely want to make sure that we quickly, it looks like it's nighttime, we quickly want to make him sit back down. So let's see, I do have lots of iron in there. We put all our precious stones up here. We've got lots and lots of iron, which is good. We have 32 diamonds, which is enough now to make a full set of armor. And I believe also our general tools, but then we're going to want to enchant them. So I think let's do that really quick, and then we'll put those all right here. I want to enchant all these things before we so we have 8 left. So that's those. We'll go ahead and put the cover me with diamond achievement. And then let's see, so we're gonna want, what is it, 2 for an enchanting table, which maybe we'll work on this episode. I can't remember. Do I have very much leather? No. Well, I have some books. I have 12 books, so that's pretty good. but not really. That's only 3 bookshelves. So we're definitely going to want to get enough stuff to make a nice enchanting room. And then we will want silk touch. So we need 2 for an enchantment table, right? And then 3 for a pickaxe, 2 for a sword, and that doesn't leave us anything else. We could also use these other 2 towards an axe, but I think I'd rather have the pickaxe because we don't even have obsidian or anything. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and make a pickaxe and a sword. And then we're going to put them up here because that's how I roll. And then that leaves us with 3. And then I want to try and get us a pretty decent bow. And we have, I guess we could go look down here. Well, we do have the skelly spawner, but we're going to want to definitely set that up. But let's check out some of these books. We have sharpness, that's not a bow. Projectile protection, not a bow. Piercing, not a bow. Not a bow. Not a bow. Quick charge. Oh, that's for the crossbow. Not a bow still. Sharpness, loyalty, piercing. Yeah, I think piercing is that. I think that's with the crossbow also. Sharpness, fire protection, piercing, multi-shot. That's definitely the crossbow. There's nothing in there. Alright, then we have protection, piercing, efficiency. Power 3. That is definitely a bow. And there's... Oh, we should look at the bows we have too. So power 3, definitely a bow. We'll look at those next. Power 3 and piercing. I don't think there's a power 4. Loyalty, no. Piercing, power 3. I wouldn't mind looting. Ooh, feather falling 4. That could be good. Efficiency, sharpness, frostwalker, and efficiency. No. Then we have loyalty, piercing, protection, smite, protection, projectile protection, power 2, piercing, a lot of piercing. And then, do we look in this one? Oh, actually we don't. That one had unbreaking and infinity, which is good. Oh, fortune 2. I need looting though, right? Loyalty, power. Down here is where I was stacking them when we first started. Yeah, I'd really like looting. So let's look at the bows and see. I don't want flame. Power 4. Okay, so I think we'll take that, and now I can't put that back. So we'll add that for power 4. Power 4. I don't think there's a power 5 in bows. Now if we go here, just fishing rod. Here we have punch 1. We want punch 3. Power 4, flame unbreaking. We would also like unbreaking 3. Power 4, unbreaking 3. So let's swap those 2. Power 4 unbreaking 3 because that's really good. Ooh, mending unbreaking 3. Power 3. I think I'll just take that. We'll let something fill it in. Power 3. Power 3 unbreaking 3. Power 2. Infinity. Now the reason I don't want infinity is because I don't think you can have infinity and mending together. And I definitely want mending on my bow. So that's the reason I don't want the infinity, even though we have tons of infinity apparently. Power flame, I don't want flame because then Enderman teleport. Power 4, unbreaking. So right now we have mending, unbreaking 3, and power 4. I don't think natively you can get looting 3. Power 3, unbreaking on a bow. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and enchant this bow with what we got. In fact, oh, we have to make that grindstone, don't we? And I think we have one, right? Wow, we got lots of infinity books. Unbreaking power 3. Power 3 unbreaking. So there's another mending. That's really good. Unbreaking 3. Power 3. Power 3. Power 3. That's a fishing rod. Alright, so yeah, I think we can merge this and this. 12. And it's always a good idea to reverse them and see, although in this case it's the same. But what we can't do anymore, oh actually we can because it's enchanted, is that. But you can't do that in your inventory with even things that are, although I heard they're bringing that back where you can actually take almost broken iron sword, 2 almost broken iron swords, just put them in your inventory and actually get the new one. So that is a pretty good bow. I'm liking it. I didn't see any mending books because that's what I'd like to put on the sword. And then of course all the armor will want to have mending as well. I know that Tri-Depth Bear has set up a thing and he's actually selling mending books for dirt cheap. Do we have any arrows? Yeah, we have 22. So we're a force to be reckoned with now. Look at that. You get quite a bit of bamboo from this. And look at that, we got almost 2 stacks from just these couple, what is it, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it looks like 8. 8 of them. And they weren't even fully grown, I don't think. Maybe I don't want to. Oh, I can put that back in the system over here. I don't need that power 3 anymore. Was it that chest? Yes. Okay, so what I want to do is, one, I wanted to show you, I was kind of telling you where that skelly spawner was from our base. But basically it's just over here. If you remember, this is where we were. Sounds like there's some pillagers trapped somewhere. But yeah, so this is that stairway that I dug down. And I'd kind of like to look at starting what we're going to do for... Oh, I don't have any pickaxes, let alone iron pickaxes. Let's go ahead and make a pickaxe, maybe 2 iron pickaxes. I think it's safe for us to upgrade. Usually I stick to the stone pickaxes forever, and then eventually finally get to the iron, but we have so much iron right now that I think we're going to be fine. The other thing I want to do is maybe make a second bucket, and we need to go fill that up real quick. So I wanted to show you kind of some of the logic behind your... that's not going to be good there. There we go. There must be a cave system under us. Alright, so I just wanted to show you some of the game logic behind this stuff. Was it over here? No, it was down. It wasn't down this set of stairs. It was over here. That's right. So if we come over here, down here. So one of the first things about spawners is, if you don't know, I'm assuming, I'm just going to kind of pretend you don't know, but the area that this can spawn is it will check 4 in each direction from the spawner itself. And one looks for 2 air spaces that are available, and then it will go ahead and try and spawn a skeleton if the light level is low enough, and if it's a skeleton spawner, obviously. So when you make your room, basically you want to go 4 in each direction from this point right here. So as you can see, the room these things start with is usually a 3, and then 2, and a 2, and a 3 on this side. Which means if this were a wall here, and this were a dark room, and there was a wall here, even though there's no line of sight and stuff, skeletons could spawn in this little cavity. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. But what we want to do is you want to hollow this out. Now, one of the first things, and of course I didn't bring a crafting bench, that I like to do is put a lid on top of the spawner itself. And the reason I do that is because mobs can't spawn on half slabs. So we take this, break that, and go ahead and put that on top. This means that the space above the spawner will no longer be viable for skeletons to spawn unless they spawn well above it and kind of fall down on it. But we want to make sure that this right here is actually safe. Now if we do a higher ceiling, because I believe they can spawn, I think it's 4 above and like 2 below, maybe it's 2 above, 2 below. So basically it's going to check that spot right there and that spot right there and maybe that spot right there if it's viable for a skeleton to spawn, and we don't want that to happen. So as a precaution, if we have this go up higher, we might also want to have a second block like so, and that will keep it, as long as we don't go up much higher than that. Like if we put a block there, you'll see there's only 1 block up there. Now if this were spiders, they could still spawn up there, but if we use that as the ceiling, we'll actually be fine and nothing can spawn directly above the spawner, which means there's no chance that a skeleton will be on top of the spawner and not falling into the system as we want them to. So the next thing I will do is I will dig out at least 1 under the spawner at the moment, and sometimes even 2. And the reason for this is once we get our water streams in, we definitely do not want skeletons to be stuck in here, because the big thing about having skeletons stuck in here or whatever mob it is that the spawner also does a check in the area that it is and sees if there's any existing mobs. If there's X amount of mobs, 2 or something like that, it will say, oh, there's already mobs here, I'm not going to spawn anymore. And this is, so that you don't be digging up there and you hear skeletons and you end up getting down here and this room is just jam-packed with skeletons. So the games, that would be kind of unfair. Well, it'd be really hard. So I like to make sure I have my 4 in each direction. And then as I go, I also lower these torches because they really don't do any good that high. And we're going to go 1 lower, so that's fine there. And then we'll just go ahead and stick 1 like there, 1 there, go ahead and do that. And it should be fine. And then we'll go ahead and dig out this. So the next step is I will usually try and figure out exactly where I want these skeletons to go. So we know we can put them over here. And I think, it sounds like we got some mobs below us. But we want to get the skeletons at least, I think it's 9 blocks away from this, where we're going to kill them. But we still want to be within 16 blocks, because if we're past 16 blocks, like right, where's the, oh. Where'd he come from? Oh, where did he come from? Okay, so, dang. Yeah, if we get back 16 blocks back, which isn't right here, let's just check real quick. So we have 1, 2, don't use that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So here, oh, my heavens, where's these guys coming from? Ouch. You guys are very rude. Let's do that for right now. I must have spawnable space. But as you can see here, it's still lit up because I think that is the 16th block. But if we go 1 more in, you'll see now it's off. So we want to make sure that we are within 16 blocks of the mob spawner itself so that it keeps on keeping on. And so what I generally like to do is have the mobs go down so they're past the 9 blocks, 10 blocks away from the spawner so that it won't count them as part of the mobs anymore. But I like to be where I'm close enough, like it's behind me but down low. So that's kind of what I do. Now once you've got it 1, you want to actually dig it 1 more because you want to be able to walk underneath the spawner. Because if this is spawning, say we have our gathering area over there, if a skeleton spawns here, he'll hit here and he'll just stand here and then he won't go away. We do not want that. So we're actually going to take this down 1 more, I think. And technically you don't have to go down 1 more here. Because when you put in the water, it'll actually push them, because you end up having this guy gone with the water and then they'll fall down here. You still stand a small chance they're going to land there, but they're still going to get pushed off. But if we go down 1 more, it's definitely going to give them enough space to spawn and get pushed away. So let's see, we have the spawner right here. We got 1, 2, 3, so we want to go 1 more here. So that's 4, and then right here is the spawner 1, 2, 3. So I want to go 1 more this way. Spawner's right here. We want to go 1, 2, 3. We want to go 1 more this way, and then I think it's 2 more this way. 1. Oh, that seemed like it was taking a while. I was thinking it might be silverfish. So what we want is a nice square that fits this area right here. Now once we get the torches that far away, there is a chance that mobs can still spawn near here down below because the light level gets too low, or just barely too low. So definitely put some torches up on that guy. We're at 22 minutes. Time's up. So I think what we'll do in the next episode is we will continue the logic behind this stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying it. This is one of the things I really enjoy doing, is teaching things. And even more than that, I love figuring out things. So like I will spend quite a bit of time just figuring out mob mechanics and how they work and what's the best, most efficient way to do this, that, and the other. But what I wanted to show you here is if we put a block there, I think, and a block there. Or is that not right? So if we go, let's just make sure 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we still have 3 on that side. So this block won't actually be here. It will be 1 more over. What we want is when we have our water in place, it will basically end just in front of the spawner. And that actually will also tell us where we dig for our other pieces. So right now, the way I'm setting this up kind of looks like we're leaning towards having the mobs go that way, right? So let's do this. I know I still have to take more out on this wall over here, but that's okay. So if we put, I think it's that and that, then if we put one of our, actually, you know what, let's do this real quick. Let's grab this, and we'll go ahead right here, go like this. That looked like maybe I could go through there. Hope that's not another spider spawner down there. Okay, so there's that. I'll go and put that there. Okay, so now we have unlimited water, which is nice because we won't have to keep running back up. There we go. So if we put this water over this one and this water over this one, you'll see, if I did it right, I must not have done it right, because usually there's only one little spot here. So let's just count real quick. So we do know this is the mob spawner. Oh, we didn't do that side yet. Okay, yeah. That's why it's not right. Alright, let's go ahead and take this one. We need to go over one more. We're going to break our pickaxe, though. I'm not going to go all the way up. We'll do that later. But I just wanted to show you. Break that, put that there. This part. And there goes our pickaxe. Alright, so now if we do this hopefully will work right. And it'll actually even look right. There we go. So as you can see, right above this little spot right here is not quite. This one's actually the mob spawner. This one's not. And we want it that way so that skeletons would actually flow down. Have I got this all right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So as you can see, the water is going exactly, forgot to do that, to the end. And that's how we want it. Then what you do, the next step is these last bits, you actually break out the blocks where the water ends, like a show. And then once you break all this out, what this will do is you'll see that it gives us one centralized point where all this water comes back together. And that will end up being where you actually build your tunnel. So if we come here and look, you can see that all the water points to this one spot right here. Ever so slowly, because of new mechanics in the game. They move fast when they're in thicker water and slow when they're in the thinner water as it narrows out. But what you want to do here is actually take out 6, like so. And oh, we're not going to be able to get out of here now. I didn't think about that, did I? Let's go ahead and do here real quick. Go here and here. So one thing we want to do that's really handy is on those edges, mobs will sometimes get stuck, and you don't want them to get stuck. And yep, I built the wrong one. So one of the flaws of the way that was is mobs get stuck on the edges when they're coming in. When you have blocks here and here, so if we throw that block there and that block there, there's a chance that when they get here, 2 of them get here at the same time and they can't go in because, well, that guy's pushing him this way, he's pushing him that way, and they just can't go in. So if you take these right here and put some fence posts, and you don't necessarily have to go all the way up, but now if a guy is here, they have a little more leeway to fit 2 in here because of that extra space. And if you want extra security, go ahead and put another one. But after you've done that, you want to basically just go in here and you want to take it to where the water ends, which is basically right there. And this is where your drop point's going to be. Now, you're not going to want to drop them, you know, like you can drop them. You can drop them 23 blocks and they'll be a one-hit kill. But you're not going to necessarily be able to do that just because, well, you'll be too far away from the skeleton spawner and it will no longer be spawning skeletons. So this is the beginning. I think we're at 29 minutes. I think this is a good stopping point. We will continue in the next episode with how I usually build my grinders. And hopefully you're enjoying this. If you are, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. And don't forget about the Great Big Game giveaway. When we hit 1,000 subs, we will be giving away 57 Steam games. I think we can actually do this to go boom, boom. Go and throw a torch right there temporarily. Yeah, when we hit 1,000 subs, 57 Steam games, and that's pretty epic. And I think I need to fill up this area too, so there's nothing in here. Or we could make a viewing room. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, like I said, 57 Steam games. That averages out to be 1 out of every 20 subs will get a game. I know I said in my last video, I was talking about how I'm gearing up so we can fight the dragon. I might not be able to make it to that end dragon fight because they're thinking about doing it tomorrow, which is Sunday for me. It'll actually be Thursday for you guys if you're watching this when it releases, which is Wednesday, unless you're somewhere else in the world where it's the next day. But anyway, I won't be able to do that because I have some prior obligations I need to take care of. But we're still going to gear up. Nowadays we can respawn the dragon, so that's not such a big deal anymore. But that's it. So like I said, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.